Peter Venaglia coming to you from the paddock here in Yonkers, New York. We're going to take an advanced look at Tuesday afternoon's races, specifically races 7 through 11. We have 5 mile-and-a-quarter races, 2 of them with 12-horse fields, 3 of them with 10-horse fields, all on the trot. And I have with me now Mark MacDonald, who is one of Canada's leading drivers, now one of America's leading drivers, and certainly one of the leading drivers here in the Yonkers driving colony. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Thanks for having me.
In race 7 on Tuesday, you're driving skates and plates for one of the really fine trainers, Paul Kelly, and it's a non-winners of $12,000, $30,000 claimer. Mark's been driving some of the stars of the Paul Kelly stable, Obrigado and Crazy About Pat, and now he's driving skates and plates. I believe this makes it Yonkers' debut, if I'm not mistaken, and I know you've been doing a lot of work with Paul's horses. What do you know about this one?
Very nice trotter. It's a 4-year-old, just started racing, made his first start at Saratoga. It was a real easy winner, win by 4 and 55, so that's a half-mile track. Maybe a little bit faster than here, so he was really good in his debut start as a 4-year-old.
And, you know, unfortunately tonight, of course, 11-hole issue with this one, who seems to have some natural speed. Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of gate speed, but he should be fine following. You know, these distance races, you don't want to have too much speed early because, you know, you obviously got to save a little for the end. So hopefully we can get him positioned and get him in the outer flow. And he's a very fast horse. He raced the New York Sires. He raced on the half-mile tracks for Tron Smedshammer as a 3-year-old. So he'll be fine, and you know, he gets around the halves good. I think he's got a good shot, and he's probably my best shot of the day. Yeah, and you know, as I said, I have a lot of respect for the work that Paul does with his.
Yeah, great job.
Yeah. And in the race 8 on Tuesday, which is a non-winners of 4 pari-mutuel, you know, we really got we're going to get a good insight into this one. Nuncari, Excelsior A winner in Saratoga with a front-end rail try. But more significantly, you drove him last year at Lexington during a $123,000 freshman year. What was your impression of him?
You know, it's really nice trotting filly. I raced her basically every start as a 2-year-old. She was second right here on this track in the New York Sire Stake Night of Champions final there. Trotting fillies, you know, she's just kind of a dirty track, but she had a muddy track last year in the final and got the outside and raced super, finished second. And she's she's taken a few starts this year to get into her own, and she was really good in Saratoga, and distance is going to be new to her and trailing. So a couple news, and you got a 3-year-old Phillium with some aged horses, but I'm sure she'll make good count of herself. Yeah, that was a really impressive performance. I still haven't gotten some of the mud off my suit from last year's Sire Stake. It was a dirty night, yeah.
Again, this is another one from the second tier. Any issues with that?
You know, it's hard to say here. You got a young horse now. This is a little bit different. You got a 3-year-old, less experienced horse trailing. I think personally she'll be fine. She's always. That was one thing about her as a 2-year-old. She always trotted. She trotted over every size track and never had an issue. So she's got a really good head on her shoulders, and I think she'll be fine trailing.
All right, and in race 9, you're driving Cass's Image for Mark Ford, and you did drive this one a few times earlier this year. This is a non-winners of $8,000, $20,000 claimer. One thing that you managed to do, which I haven't seen done very often, I believe you managed to make the front from the 12 hole with this one. Yeah, she's really handy. Really nice little Merida Drive. You know, Teddy Wing owns her. He was a regular driver here, you know, for years, and he's a good trot man, and she's just a sweetheart to drive. She's maybe up a little bit in class, but you know, if we can save some ground with her, she'll be there at the end. Yeah, Ted Wing, you know, one of the longtime mainstays here. I know, good acquaintance with Joe Feraldo, as a matter of fact. Yeah. But does this one, you think, have enough speed that you can get him in play from the 8-hole?
Oh, definitely. She'll be in play. I mean, I made front kind of easy with her from the 12-hole trail, and, you know, I just followed them out and was on top before coming out of the first turn last time. So with the 8-hole, I think that's her game, is she's going to get positioned well, and just, you know, hopefully she can have the stamina to hang in there for a 1.25 miles.
Well, it's going to be an interesting afternoon Tuesday. Mark MacDonald's going to have a big say in the pick 5. Mark MacDonald, you heard it here, is going to have a big say also, I think, come October when we have the international trot. Let's see if Obrigado can get it done this year.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Pete.